Hey podcaster, I'm Tim Wahlberg, your podcast performance coach with another actionable tip so you can grow your authority and convert with ease. Today's tip is perspective is everything. How do you feel when someone is tailgating you? About 25 years ago, I learned a really valuable lesson that I've never forgotten when it comes to driving. I was your typical slightly cocky driver in my early 20s, traveling through British Columbia's Okanagan Valley in the blazing hot summer. It's a popular route for bikers because the scenery is amazing. You're zipping along windy roads surrounded by mountains, lakes, and wineries. So I'm following behind this handful of bikers for quite some time. You know, the road often narrows and you can't pass all of them at once. But at some point, construction slowed everything down. So we all had to stop in this big long line of traffic and wait for our turn to proceed. So I pull up behind these bikers that I've been following for a while, stopped and turned off my car. Then the last guy in the gang got off of his bike, turned around, and walked directly up to my driver's side door. He was about 6'6", full of ink, half covered in leather. He was a big boy, and clearly someone I didn't want to mess with. He leaned over and tapped on my window, looking directly at me. I had nowhere to go, so I sheepishly cracked my window. Hello? He said to me rather calmly, I'm going to share with you what it's like to be on a motorcycle when someone like you, he meant me, is following him. Then he proceeded to deliver a verbal ass-kicking, rather politely I must say, on how I should be behaving when I'm behind a motorcyclist on a road. On any road. He re-educated me about how dangerous it can be for them, how vulnerable they are when drivers around them aren't safe, and how it makes them feel when someone is following too closely. And he left me with the one and only piece of advice I needed to hear. Never tailgate someone on a bike. From that day forward, I've never tailgated anyone on a bike or in a car or truck. I won't do it, and I share that story with anyone in my car whenever we're around motorcycles. That biker, that one who had that little chat with me that day, changed my perspective, and it profoundly affected the way I behave. So what does this story have to do with podcasting? Well, for you, I hope it illustrates what it takes to go from being in your world, thinking about what you're doing, instead of thinking about how someone experiences your behavior. Think about this shift when you're podcasting. You can't just be sharing your message for your own sake. You can't just be telling people what you do. You need to think about how that information impacts your listener. You need to think about how it feels for that listener. Think about it this way. Imagine you're a massage therapist working on your marketing message. Now, you could probably talk on and on about all the different techniques that you use, or how you hold your fingers, or how you make sure you don't get fatigued, or how you find the knots in someone's back. This is all from your perspective. It's what you're doing. That's not going to sell the massage. That's not going to convince someone that they should come and see you. What they need to hear is how they are going to feel. Are they going to feel relaxed? Is their tension going to be released? Is there going to be a little bit of pain or a lot of pain? Is it a soft massage? Are there warm stones involved? They want to know their experience and what they're going to feel afterwards. What is the result? That's what they want to know. So this is a paradigm shift in how you deliver your content. This is listener-centric podcasting. This is how you need to be marketing your show. Focus on what your listener is going to feel after hearing your show. What's the transformation you provide, and what's the problem you solve? When I was tailgating, I was driving in a way that didn't really serve me. I mean, I wasn't getting anywhere faster, but worse was it didn't serve anyone around me. I wasn't thinking about their perspective. Shifting the perspective and being able to hear and understand how it felt to that motorcyclist changed everything. And I hope that's just the tip you need. Without this type of clarity as a podcaster, you're guessing. This shows up through uncertainty around the topics you cover, the guests you bring on, and the questions you ask them. When you're guessing on this stuff, I'm guessing your show could be performing better, and you need to do a little more work on who you're targeting and what your effect is on them. If you need some help with this, get a spot on my calendar for a free podcast coaching call and allow me to give you the gentle, verbal ass-kicking you deserve. You'll feel amazing and re-energized afterward and have a completely new perspective on your show and your listener. Book your free podcast coaching call at podcastperformancecoach.com. I'm Tim Wahlberg. See ya!